Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to give you guys a 4-month update on the random drug testing protocol that I've been undergoing. Before I do that though, let's have a quick recap. Over the last few years, I've received loads of accusations on social media where people have been accusing me of being a fake natty. That is, someone who takes drugs and lies about doing so. Now the first thing to point out here is, I'm not, like I don't take drugs now and I've never taken drugs, but the problem is that people who accuse me of taking drugs don't believe me. So I figured why not actually prove it? So I enlisted the help of the World Anti-Doping Agency, the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation, the Men's Health Clinic, and Derek from More Plates, More Dates. And we spent almost a year orchestrating the most stringent random drug testing protocol that I could possibly undertake. Essentially how it works is that I share a calendar with the WNBF and Derek so they know my whereabouts. The WNBF will then message me with less than 24 hours notice and say they're coming down to test me. They then turn up at my house or wherever I happen to be that day. They'll take blood and urine samples to go to the WADA lab and test for every banned substance on the planet, and then they'll take another blood sample to go to the Men's Health Clinic and test for all the hormone metrics that Derek wanted to test for to make sure I wasn't cheating the system or doing some sneaky Lance Armstrong shit. Anyway, fast forward 4 months of random testing and we've now done 3 separate tests, the most recent of which was done last month. And that brings us up to the current day, and the plan today is to go over the results from the 2 most recent tests and then probably compare all the results together. We're gonna head over to the gym and test my 1-rep maxes, see how my strength is looking, and then we're gonna do a bit of a physique update and see how my physique is looking. How's your physique looking? You're gonna give me the breadstick. That was extremely solid. So, before we start, 3 quick things I'd like you to do. Firstly, please drop the video a like, it takes 5 seconds. Secondly, subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Again, takes 5 seconds, just a nice thing to do. And thirdly, if you've not already, sign up to the Morsia app, top link in the description. I'm joking. Greatest fitness app on the planet. But anyway, without further ado, let's go and catch up with Derek. Okay, good morning. How's it going, dude? You good?
Yep, I'm good.
Ready? Hit me with some results, mate.
Okay, we're popping right into it. Okay, so.
Let's not mess around, mate.
Okay, so we have random tests from May 25th and June 21st so far, and your baseline results of March 28th that we have as a reference point as well for when we first started the testing window. So the first thing we go through is the urine. So this is where you kind of look at all of the different bioidentical compounds in terms of if there's an aberration. Is he doping with testosterone? Is he doing something that's going to manipulate, something that's suppressing him? Is he going to have a manipulated testosterone to epitestosterone ratio? And here, basically what you can see is an analysis of, well, he was also tested for HGH with the isoform differential immunoassay, and that cleared and it was fine. Good to go on that. But the actual main thing most people are going to be thinking you would try and get away with on something like this would be manipulating your hormones with TRT or bioidentical, hard to detect compounds, because you literally are supposed to have them in your body. So that's where we look at this steroid profile data chart, and we can kind of see over time, not only is there aberrations in the ratios of these endogenous, which is naturally produced hormones that are supposed to be there, because if you were doping, you would have certain markers suppressed, namely epitestosterone, which at the top of that cholesterol cleavage chart I sent you a few minutes ago, you can see epitestosterone is higher up on the steroidogenesis chart than all of the other compounds that are being tested for here. That's because that is a metabolite that is not derived from testosterone. So if you were doping, your testosterone levels, if you're using your test levels would stay wherever you had manually manipulated them to, but epitestosterone would be suppressed significantly. So that's where we see this epitestosterone going up in tandem with your testosterone. It's very obvious, or it seems pretty consistent, that this is naturally in parallel, all of your hormones in unison are going up or down. So that means this is representative of what you would see from natural production of testosterone and other androgens in the body. So everything here checks out as far as ratios.
And to emphasize, yeah, this is literally thorough as right? This is do you know what I mean? There's not realistically more we could do, right? Within reason. Other
than higher frequency, but I mean, ultimately it's random. Yeah. So it's not there's really any leeway with that anyways. And by the way, one thing I should mention too, that I forgot to about the urine analysis, is that covers the entire WADA prohibited list of 2022. So that's from S0 all the way down to beta blockers. This is the entire banned substance list. So this is A to Z, any synthetic agent you could be using. So it's pretty comprehensive. So I think this is natural as far as what we've looked at on the urine.
Boom, we're done. Number 1, first check complete.
Okay, well, let's get into the blood before you get all excited, but it does look good. Anyway, so we have May 25th, June 21st, which are the random tests after March 28th. So you see a few things in red in general. These are representative. Nothing here is aberrant from like a synthetic like doping standpoint. Like it's not like your gonadotropins is the main thing we care about, and is why this blood test is one of the main reasons why this blood test is being used as like a concurrent, like reinforcing bulletproof infrastructure for this whole testing parameter. So we can tell basically you have natural signal to your testes to produce testosterone. Like this is representative of natural function. If you were doping, these numbers would not only be probably suppressed or like literally subclinical, we would see like weird aberrations in them, but not, your test levels literally were almost identical in these two tests too. And notable, the reason that they went up so much, I think is probably because you were literally in a state of like massive stress and just like not doing really anything conducive to testosterone production when you first started this testing window. Like you just got off surgery before that, right? Like
yeah. So for context, the first test was like, it was days post-surgery. So I'd had the rupture, I'd had like major surgery, it was after that, yes.
Yeah, so obviously having like, you know, high quality rest, micro, macronutrients, hard training, like these are all things that are, like there are so many factors that go into testosterone production. So I'm not surprised to see that as you get healthier as an overall individual, your testosterone levels went up as you recovered, and then now they're kind of like static over time. But mainly, the main thing I care about is the fact that there's no suppression showing, because even if your test levels were normal and then they went up a bit or whatever, I would be looking for aberrations in the urine markers that we just looked at for if ratios are thrown off, which are not, and the FSH and LH levels are not all over the map either. They're totally natural looking, and there was no sign that you were doping with like fertility agents, like administering HCG to manually make yourself have like, you know, testicular function or anything like that. So it's like, for you, if over the next, you know, however many months we're still drug testing you with this bulletproof full spectrum testing, and you manage to get not only like your physique is like pretty similar from what I've seen, but like your lifts all get back up to exactly where they were before, or like within like reasonable striking distance naturally, it would be pretty hard to assert that anything about your physique was contingent upon drug use to get it. So like obviously somebody could say, oh, maybe you took like, you tried a pro hormone when you were like 19 years old or something, like, but ultimately it's not like the sustaining of that into like your 30s or something, and then being subject to testing in your late 30s when you're supposed to be declining too in performance. Like there are so many supporting factors that would be very impossible to say that anything that you've gotten to these peak numbers in your almost late 30s at this point now could have been derived from PED use. Like the likelihood is very high that there's potential to be a lifetime natural there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but ultimately you could essentially rule it out. Again, like that's as good as you're gonna get, where I think 99.9% of people are gonna realize like, okay, it's probably lifetime natural. Give some hope to the natties out there, bro.
So that is step 1 complete. 4 months of random drugs testing down, and in case they went over your head, to give you the briefest of brief summaries, I'm natural, mate. Completely, irrefutably, conclusively natural. It's not my opinion, that's not me saying that, that is a fact. I've now proven that. But it's not enough for me now to prove that I'm natural currently. I want to show that I've always been natural, right? The only way to do that is to get my 1 rep maxes to the best they've ever been, and to maintain my current physique. Because obviously it goes without saying, if you're taking drugs for a period of time and then you stop for say 6 months, obviously your 1 rep maxes would drop, obviously your physique would suffer. So the plan now is to consume these calories, this protein, this caffeine, and then we're gonna head over to the gym and see where my current 1 rep, and see where my current, what is happening? Why am I saying current? It's not a word, mate. And see where my current 1 rep maxes are. Jesus Christ, mate. Okay, we are in. The plan is to go squat and then bench press and then deadlift. Quick bit of context, my PRs in these 3 lifts are a 185 kilogram bench press, that was from February last year, a 275 kilogram squat, again from February last year, and then a 310 kilogram deadlift, that was from March last year. Now, in case you've been living under a rock, 4 months ago, I fully ruptured my Achilles tendon, like literally snapped it in half, pretty much the worst sporting injury going. Obviously had a huge impact on my lifts because I couldn't even walk properly for like 2.5 months. I was stuck on a sofa, but we are back. The Rocky style comeback is underway. I've been back training these 3 lifts now for about 6 weeks, slightly longer for the bench press because obviously there's far less Achilles involvement. But yeah, squats up first. Let's see how it's looking. Boom! 220 kilograms, motherfuckers, what the hell? As if. That is surprising. That has drastically accelerated my progress. Like I said, squat was always going to take far longer than the deadlift and the bench to get back to where I was because obviously the Achilles involvement there. But that was, I need to watch it back. That felt good. It felt comfortable. Like honestly, RPE 9, absolute most. I think the biggest thing is a psychological barrier. It's just obviously, with the bench and the deadlift, especially the bench, there's no loading really. Deadlift, a tiny bit of loading, but with a squat, I'm literally stretching my Achilles under, 220 kilograms. It's a terrifying feeling, and I've still got the feeling, the image in my head of my Achilles ripping in half, so that'll take some time to get rid of, but every time I squat, my confidence increases, and that's, I'm very excited. Maybe it won't take as long as I thought for my squat to come back because that felt very good. I said I'll watch it back, but I'm pretty sure I had more there, so yes, that is an amazing result, mate. What a time to be alive. Anyway, exciting times. Very, very happy with that. Let's see what bench is saying. Boom. 175, so there's what you're saying. Feedback, hit me. It's not your turn. I'm happy. I mean, that moved far. I've probably moved 175 that fast once or twice in my life, so I think I'm close. I need to watch it back, but it felt comfortable. Like as soon as I came off my chest, I knew I had it. RPE like 9.5 maybe, so I'll watch it back, but I reckon I'm this close to 180, this close to 4 plates, and almost back to my best ever bench press, which is pretty good. Anyway, on to deadlifts.
I know my destiny.
Okay, that's 270 kilogram deadlift ticked off, accomplished, done. I'm a broken man. Oh my God, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like my nervous system is now non-existent at this point. But I got it, I need to watch it back. I think it was slow, but like I said, I had to really dig deep to get that because I've got nothing left at this point. But the bottom line is, what is that now? 220 kilogram squat, 175 kilogram bench, 270 kilogram deadlift, all in one session, 4 months after a full Achilles rupture. Like, I don't know, but I find it hard to believe as many people, if anyone, that have ever done that before. Like, especially the squat, 220 kilogram squat, 4 months after fully rupturing your Achilles tendon. I don't know. If you can find someone, I'd like to, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know someone if that's ever been done before by a human, but I'm pretty proud of myself, to be honest, because I've put in a stupid amount of work to get back to this point, so yeah. Anyway, the point is, at this stage, that's where I'm at. Give me another month or two, and I think you can see where the lifts are gonna go. They're gonna go like this way. I'm pointing upwards trajectory, by the way. But yeah, so I've showed you the drug test results, fully natural. I've showed you the strength, numbers are all on the up. Last piece of the jigsaw is my physique, so I'm gonna try and scrape myself off the gym floor now, do a quick little push workout to show you how my physique is looking.
On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. Keep the same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, this the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. Pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going. I got his band like I'm Barry Bonds. Running through the money, but the money's long. I don't love it, but I need it, keep it coming on. Only friendly, me and friends, we don't get along. On track, now we gon' way up. W's as easy as a layup. Working late, stay up. Counting all the way up. Counting blessings, yeah, you know we pray up. On track, now we gon' way up. Now we gon' way up. Now we going.
And we are done. Jesus Christ. That was a hot one. Not in a sexual sense, in like a temperature sense. I think I excreted about 5 kilograms of sweat. But yeah, we're good, we're done. Physique wise, what are you saying? Like, I don't want to influence your opinion, but I just watched the clips back. To be honest, I think I look sick. Like, go as far as to say maybe the best, definitely up there with the best I've ever looked. Like, I'm really happy with the level of leanness I have, coupled with the amount of muscle mass. I think it's a good place to be. And with that, that completes like the triumvirate of like testing, strength metrics, and then my physique. And to be honest, I don't think there's much more I can do. I'm obviously gonna do another couple of months of testing just to really hammer it home. But I think at this point, in my opinion, it's pretty obvious that I'm natural and always have been. And realistically, I'm not naive. I know there will still be some people that will have doubts, but let's be honest, those people are probably predominantly psychopaths. People will say things like, it's easy to get around the test. Like, my mate Gary takes drugs and he passed a drugs test. He didn't pass these ones, mate. These ones cannot be passed. They've not been done before, okay? Derek designed this testing protocol. It's a whole bunch of tests over a period of time to make sure there was no way around it, okay? So people say, oh yeah, Olympic athletes pass tests all the time. They don't pass these tests. This is a combination of multiple tests coupled with, like I said, the strength metrics, the physique stuff, so there is no way around it. Plus, it's random. I don't know when it's happening. So if I was taking drugs at some point and then coming off them, like, how could I do that if I don't know when I'm being tested? People also say things like, well, you know, maybe you're natural now, but I think you took drugs in the past. Again, just to reiterate, if I took drugs in the past and then come off them now, how would my strength metrics be increasing in the way they are? How would my physique look the way it does? Simply, it wouldn't. So feel free, if you see these comments, guys, feel free to, you know, inform people. I think a lot of the comments, those kind of comments, people that haven't even bothered watching the videos, they don't really know what's going on. So feel free to educate them and explain that, you know, they're morons. I'd appreciate that kind of support. But yeah, for the, you know, the normal, level-headed, rational people out there, I like to think that, you know, I've proved a point here. And I think, like I said, I'm still going to carry on. That's important to me. I want to keep going until I get my lifts to the best I've ever been, because that will just make it completely irrefutable at that point. I think the biggest, you know, the most important, the overriding message, it's always been the most important thing for me, is just to show people, right, is that message that you do not need to take drugs to look good and to be strong, right? Particularly for like teenage boys out there. I want those guys to realize they can go to the gym, they can get in great shape, they can get strong as and they can do it without taking drugs. And I'm literally living proof of that, right? I think that's a really important message. Also, on a side note, don't forget, by the way, all of the lifting stuff I was wearing there, the sleeves and the belt, is all from the new Morsia lifting range. Top link in the description. Their belt in particular is absolutely out of this world. For the price, literally the best lifting belt you'll find on the planet. So go and check it out while stock is still there. I believe we still have stock, limited stock of a few items, so go and check it out before it all goes. But that, my friends, is that. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the update. Like I said, still more to come. For now, we're done. If you enjoyed it, drop it a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.